Welcome back to Big Games for Little Sis. I'm Mitch. You're somebody. I don't know. Maybe you're a one-eyed girl, and in that case, sup? We're picking up right off. I think this is probably going to be the last episode. I can't imagine how much more there is. So here we go. It's warm enough today that sitting outside is comfortable, so we take one of the outdoor tables and start looking through the menu.
Oh, I wonder if I should get a sandwich or not. I'm not sure that I'm hungry.
A sandwich does sound good. Oh, this looks delicious.
It doesn't take long for us to decide, and we soon place our orders. As we're waiting for our food, Sachi's gaze keeps drifting onto me, only to flit away as soon as I notice. It seems like she wants to say something, but she's not sure how to say it.
What's up?
Senpai, do you want to
Touch my scars! Huh? Huh?
This takes me so off guard that I start sputtering like an idiot.
What do you mean?
Nothing, it's just, you were touching them before, so I thought you might want to.
Help! Help, I need to help! Oh, I see,
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say in this situation. Since I met you, you've only done so much for me, Momo-senpai, but I've never done even one thing for you. I want to repay you for all the times you've made me happy, but I can't really think of anything. Sorry, that must have been a really creepy thing to ask. Please just forget about it. I get the feeling that Sachi thinks she owes me a debt. She really doesn't have that much social experience after all. You think? After thinking about this strange proposal for a bit, I realize she is trying to repay me in her own way.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. No! No! No, bro, no! Huh? Yeah, another huh coming. Your scars. I wanna touch them, can I?
I can't think of this as her repaying a debt. Just being able to be together with her is reward enough. Though saying that to her probably wouldn't change her mind anyway. Bro, I can't post this on YouTube. I feel like letting me touch her scars will somehow lighten the burden she carries every day, even if this is a strange thing to do. This is for Sachi's sake. I did ask to, but it's not like I actually want to feel your scars. Or at least, that's how I should feel. Ugh.
Oh yes, go ahead.
I was gonna dig right in.
Trembling, she puts her right hand on the table.
Thanks.
But intentionally touching another person's injuries like this is really weird. And I feel apprehensive about doing it.
Oh, well.
Before, I only felt them because we were holding hands, but this time I'm doing it on purpose, and a girl's hand is obviously much smaller than mine. The scars cover more of her palm than I thought they might. Now that I can see them closely, it looks like they're mostly healed. The bandages that cover them seem to have been removed a few days ago, and any pain or bleeding must have subsided by now. I run my thumb along the smooth outline of the scars, tracing them. There's not much left of the scabs that must have covered these scars only a few days ago. I never got a good look at them until now. They aren't as rough as I thought they might be. I glide my thumb along the inside of the pale grooves, then back out to the edges! Ah! The scabs still occupy the very center of her scars. She would probably start bleeding again if the scabs are picked off. These scabs will probably start falling off soon, actually. I'm sure they were huge when they were fresh. The skin outlining these scabs is bright pink and closer to the center, white. Like any good steak. The center of the scar is sunken as though part of her palm was cut out, and I let my thumb creep into the depression. She says, "Ung," because it's hurting. Her hand shudders under my touch. Your painful touch!
Sorry, did that hurt?
No, it didn't. That part is still sensitive is all. I'm fine, don't worry. I look up at Sachi apologetically and see that her face become much redder than we entered the cafe. Having someone examine your hand so intensely in public would probably be embarrassing for anyone. You two are causing such a scene right now. I try rubbing her scar a bit. I probably shouldn't be enjoying this so much. But sometimes when I put pressure on my hand, she makes really cute expression as she flinches. She's adorable in those moments, and seeing that makes me want to rub the part of her scab that's still healing.
Excuse me.
I come out of my trance with a start as the waitress brings our food out on a fold-out platter. I hurriedly give Sachi back her hand, leaving the table clear, and the waitress puts our sandwiches in front of us. Do you creeps need anything else?
Oh, no, thank you.
When she brought her food, the waitress looked Sachi over curiously, and then as she left, she shot me a strange, almost wary glance. I guess I really deserve that, though. I'm too ashamed to look at Sachi now.
You're lucky to have been served at this establishment. Thanks, Sachi.
Yeah, if you want to touch him again, just ask. No. No. No, bro.
While our food's here, let's eat.
Right.
Hey, this is pretty good. How's yours?
Mine's good too. I'm so glad we came here. I hate this now. Things got pretty awkward between us after that. And even normal conversation feels out of place. Ah, young love. Alright, black screen. This is a time to refresh. This is a nice refresh point for us. They had a weird moment. Kids do awkward stuff when they're dating for the first time. It's weird, but you know, I'm sure it happens. We're gonna refresh now. And we're back. We're refreshed. Look at that.
I think it's time we headed to the movie.
Okay. We finished lunch, and it seems like the awkward atmosphere between us is cleared up.
I think we'll get there a little early, but at least we can get good seats this way. If we get there too late, the seats will fill up and we'll get stuck in the very back of the theater.
Oh, would we? We head towards the place where the movie is being shown. We're not that far away, though, so it only takes us a few minutes to get there.
This is it.
There are already people lining up?
Looks like it. They'll probably let everyone in soon, though.
I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, I hope it's a good one. Oh.
The movie is less than 2 hours long, and we soon find ourselves out in front of the theater again. I stretch and breathe in the cool evening air, happy to be moving around again after sitting inside for so long.
That movie was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, better than I thought it was going to be.
The story was about a mischievous kid who gets put in a boarding school, makes some friends, and works with his teacher to make their school play a success. It's based off of children's books. This whole thing is light and fun-hearted. I didn't read that right, but I'm so over this. We discuss what we thought of the movie. Sachi seems to have loved it, but eventually her voice gets quieter as she starts hanging her head again.
The main character sure had a lot of friends and a nice teacher. I'm sure they were able to win.
Nope. Sorry. I'm gonna take this from the top. Oh, I still can't. I'm still...
The main character sure had a lot of friends and a nice teacher, and they were able to win in a tough situation. It's a really nice story. Maybe if I was born a normal person, I'd be stronger like him.
She gets quieter and quieter, and eventually I can barely make out what she's saying. I'm not sure if she's talking to me anymore.
Hey, Sachi!
Oh, yes?
Earlier you were saying how you wanted to repay me for what I've done for you, right? But you know, just getting to be with you is enough for me.
Ah!
I know I can't decide for her what she thinks no matter how many times I say that, but we spend all day together. That shows how I feel pretty clearly, doesn't it?
I know I've said this before, but I'm here for you no matter what. Anything you need, I'll help however I can.
I don't know if I can be considered a good-natured person, but I can say for sure that I care for her from the bottom of my heart. What I felt when I first saw her can only be described as love at first sight. That's the name of the game! The more I tell Sachi how I feel, and the more time we spend together, the stronger our bond will get. I feel like I can't take my eyes off her now.
I mean, not that I can help that much. I can't do what's impossible for me, and there's some things I won't do anyway.
I don't want to impose on you, Senpai.
Sachi is as stubborn as always when it comes to another person helping her. I know I won't get to her just meekly accept like this she does with everything else. I'm not giving up though. Even if she doesn't want to impose on me, I want to be by her side. I want to make sure she can keep smiling.
But thank you for the offer. I'm really glad that we got to meet, Mamoru-senpai. I'm much happier now than I was before.
But, there's still a lot of fun things we can do. Oh, I know. I wanted to introduce you to my friends so we can all hang out together.
Your friends? Are you sure that's a good idea?
Yeah, totally. Trust me, they're good people. They would never touch your scars. And besides, I've already told them about you.
If you think it's okay, well, alright. I'll look forward to meeting them then.
Great! We should probably start heading home then, shouldn't we?
It's not actually that late, but the sun is setting and it's starting to get dark. At this point, it's probably best to do what Sachi's aunt wanted and head straight home.
Yes, it's getting late. Actually, can I ask a favor?
Oh, what do you need?
Can we hold hands on the way home?
Yeah, I think that's a favor I can grant.
I take Sachi's hand in mine without hesitation. I feel the warmth of her hand as she squeezes mine, and suddenly it feels like the day when she'll let herself rely on me isn't so far off. Act 5. Cry one's eye out. I kind of want to cry my eyes out. Ah! Her side. The last bell rings and the school day ends, so I grab my bag and leave the classroom. Most of the time I leave as quickly as I can because I don't want to get caught by Sadakawa-san, but today it's because I want to hurry and meet Mamoru-senpai. Lately, coming to school has been something to look forward to, and I can't help but feel excited about it. It's even better because I keep running into senpai. The old me would never have believed it's possible to be this happy at school. That's not to say that Sadakawa-san has stopped bullying me. Sometimes Mamoru-senpai is there to intervene, but I don't know if that's actually been the best idea. Sadakawa has stopped bullying me as much as she used to, but now when she does it, her attacks are even more violent than before. Even so, I don't hate going to school anymore. The joy I feel when I spend time with Mamoru is so much more powerful than the sorrow brought on by those painful incidents. I couldn't meet up with Senpai this morning, but he must have been thinking about me. He came to eat with me at lunch and stayed with me the whole lunch period. We talked about the movie we saw yesterday. I really had a lot of fun. The movie itself was interesting. That was my first time seeing a movie with another person, and I also had a lot of fun just walking around with him. Senpai wasn't upset at being seen with me in public either, and we even held hands when I asked. It was wonderful. Now that I think about it, that was a date yesterday, wasn't it? I wonder what Senpai thinks of that. I'll just scroll back up in the text, you can find out. I really miss him, and I want to see him again. I usually find him by the school's gate, but today I want to meet him right at his classroom. I stand just outside the hallway so as not to attract any wandering eyes. If I see Mamoru, I'll call out to him. Second-year students trickle out of the classrooms and head down the hallway without paying me any mind. I don't see Senpai yet, though. Just as I'm worrying that I might have missed him, I overhear two second-year students talking in the hallway.
Alright, time to go home. Wait, where's Markin?
Oh, Mamoru said he couldn't find the handouts and went to look in his locker for it. At any rate, he's going with you-know-who again, so I doubt we'll be seeing him. This catches my attention. We're talking about Mamoru-senpai, I think. Is Makun his nickname? I guess those are his friends.
Oh, really? We haven't gone home together in a long time. He's making me so sad.
We never really hung out with him in the first place, you know. We live in completely opposite directions.
What's the principle of the thing? We at least walked to the gates together, but now we don't even do that.
It's because he's spending so much time with that girl. Do they mean me?
Yeah, what's up with that? It's no fair. How long is it going to keep this up? I don't know how much longer I can survive like this.
Just let him do what he wants to do. I'm sure he'll return to us when the time is right. Then again, it's been quite a while. Maybe we should find her ourselves.
Oh, I can't believe it. Tomo agrees with me on something. Alert the media. Okay, tomorrow we'll go find her. I've got this all planned out.
I start to feel an overwhelming tightness in my chest. I can feel my good mood dissolving rapidly. I can't bear to listen anymore and retreat down the stairways as quietly as I can.
Finally, the day when Sacha will grace us with her presence is almost here. I've run simulations of our fateful meeting countless times in my head, so I'll be ready for anything. I am totally prepared to be the super friendly older sister type person she needs. Hey, Tomo, are you listening?
Huh? Oh, I thought I saw someone just now. Yeah, I'm listening. Something about being a super annoying older sister, right?
What? No, you did that on purpose.
Yep, sure did.
You meanie?
Ah, click. More click.
Oh. I guess I really have stolen him from his other friends. I wonder if those are the friends he said he was going to introduce me to yesterday. He did say he told them about me. She said she couldn't survive like this. I guess she meant without Mamoru. Mamoru said it was okay to meet them, but now I don't know if that's really the case. His friends must hate him for spending so much time with me. I didn't realize how much trouble I've caused him. My heart feels heavy. My body heavier, like the weight of this whole situation dragging me down. My vision darkens. I don't have the strength to even lift my head as I walk. The asphalt looks grayer than normal. The shadows close around me. Oh, Senpai is going to lose all his friends because of me. I can't let that happen. When I was with him, he let me forget my troubles. Now, I only wanted to forget. But I can never forget what I am. I have one eye. No one could ever love a freak like me. The fact that Senpai was so nice to me made me so happy, and so he let me forget. But I can't let my misfortune infect him. I could never forgive myself if his life is ruined because of me. I couldn't survive if he ended up hating me. But maybe it's not too late. Maybe his life isn't ruined yet. He doesn't hate me yet. I have to act fast. Yesterday, Mamoru said he would be there for me if I needed him. But I can't let him shoulder my burdens. If I'd let him, I wouldn't be able to save him. I was so happy that he said that, but I suppose it was good that I was at a loss for words back then. Even so, I'll always remember the kindness he showed me. He bought me my cell phone strap too. At least I have this to remember him by. When things go wrong again, at least I'll have this to bring back all the good memories. Like yesterday, and all the time I spent with Senpai, and his kind voice. I can hear it now. Oh! If I have that much at least, I'll be okay. I'll be okay even if all I have left of him is his memory. Before I realize it, the school is far behind me, and I've wandered onto one of the side streets I usually take to get home. I find I can barely stand, and I lean against the telephone pole, still staring at the ground. Rain is starting to fall. The sun is out, but that doesn't matter, I guess. A black sheen seems to ooze over the asphalt as it drinks in the heavy drops. That's strange. Every day for the past weeks it's been bright and sunny. I've gotten so used to that I almost forgot what it's like when it rains. I have to do it. I have to say goodbye to Senpai. My vision blurs as the heavy drops continue to fall. Your side.
I don't like it. I don't like it saying your side because that implies I'm the dude touching scars. This is not. That's not me. That wasn't me. I read it, but that wasn't me. I was reading something else. We're clear? Okay, moving on. I stayed in class longer than I meant to today. Sachi's probably been waiting for me for a while. I'm usually the first one out the door, sometimes leaving a little too early, but Sachi always beats me to the school gates since her classroom is closer to them than mine is. I change my shoes and rush out of the school. Sachi usually comes running to meet me when she sees me walking to the gates, but now I'm past it, and Sachi's nowhere to be found. Did she already go home? I scan the street for any sign of her and see that she's still only a little ways ahead of me, though it doesn't look like she's noticed me yet.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take so... Sachi?
She turns to me. Her face is almost parallel to the ground, and her usual smile has been replaced with a much darker look. Has she been crying?
Mamoru, Senpai, thank you so much for all you've done for me, but I'll be fine on my own from now on. I don't mind going home and having lunch by myself, so...
Sachi's voice wavers, and I'm certain something bad must have happened to her as she's saying this. I take a step toward her, determined to find out what.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Did Sadakawa do something to you again?
No, she's not involved. I just think it's best if you have nothing to do with me, that's all.
What? I don't understand why you think that.
There's nothing to understand.
Her head is still down, but her voice is fraying, becoming hysterical.
If this is another trick, it's not funny. I'm here with you because I want to be. Do you really want to be alone at school again?
Stop, please.
At least tell me why.
Ah!
Sachi turns her back to me and starts running before I even finish.
Wait!
I run after her, sprinting, and catch her by the shoulder. We come to a stop, and I forcibly turn her around to face me, but she refuses to look at me.
Please stop. I know you said I'm being my friend, but if you do,
She looks up at me. Her face is sopping wet from the giant tears streaming down her eye.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but like I said, if something happened, tell me.
Your friends, that you hang out with me
My friends? I did tell her I'd introduce her to Akemi and Tomo, but I can't imagine they'd ever say something like that.
Which friends are these? Did you actually talk to them? They'd never say something like that. You must have had a misunderstanding.
You're the one who's misunderstanding, but you still think that when your friends abandon you? If you stay friends with me, you'll lose everything.
They won't abandon you, but any friend who does is not someone I want to be friends with anyway.
Why do you have to be so nice? Stop it! It's already hard enough to accept that you're going to abandon me yourself.
Huh? I'm not going to abandon you either. Never!
Why do you say things like that? Do you want to be my friend so badly you throw your whole life away? Why? I don't get it.
Whoa. That's a little dramatic.
Yes, I do. I want to be your friend forever. Your best friend forever. I want to be your biffle.
But why? It's stupid. Can't you trust that I have a good reason for doing this? I can't believe you'd say something so stupid, Senpai.
Really? I can believe it. I can believe it. She trails off. I know what she wants me to say, and I know I can't say it. I have to tell her everything that's on my mind. I didn't realize it until just now, but I know I want to be with her.
Oh, I love you, Sachi.
Goo?
I mean, huh?
Going to the movie yesterday? That was more or less a date. I guess you didn't realize it.
What? That?
I understand if you hate me.
Of course I don't hate you, Senpai. I really like you. I love you.
If
that's true, don't tell me to abandon you. I'm happy when I'm with you, and I could never dream of abandoning you.
Really? You're really happy with me?
I really am.
I know I couldn't stand it if you abandoned me then, but I'm only going to cause you trouble.
That's fine. As long as you're by my side, I can handle any trouble that comes our way.
Senpai!
I go to her and take her into my arms, and she starts crying her eye out. Bro. She sobs into my chest for a long while.
Oh.
When she finally calms down, I wipe away her tears. It's time we started heading home. She told me about my friends who, from the sound of it, were definitely Tomo and Akemi, and what she heard them saying.
That does seem like something they'd say. You must have misunderstood something. I'll ask them about it tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry, I said. Even if you heard them right, I won't abandon you.
Thank you.
She's still upset, but there's genuine relief in her voice. We soon arrive at Sachi's house.
I'll deal with my friends, don't worry. See you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, Senpai?
Yes?
Can I be your girlfriend?
Ooh! Do you want to?
Yes!
Well then, I guess it's the official start of our relationship. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Sachi looks so happy throughout this whole awkward exchange. It makes me that much happy seeing her like that, and I smile back at her.
Then see you tomorrow?
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Oh, the next day, lunchtime. I'm meeting with Tomo and Akemi in our usual spot, the empty classroom. But this time, we've got a fourth person joining us.
I'm Usui Sachi. Nice to meet you.
Ochiai Tomiori, a pleasure.
And I'm Tsunami Akemi. Nice to meet ya!
Sorry about yesterday. I guess you were the one I saw running away. Now that I review how our conversation went, I can see how you misunderstood our intentions.
Yeah, we're really sorry. We don't hate you, Sachan. Not even a little bit. It's okay. I was the one eavesdropping when I shouldn't have been, and I almost caused trouble between you two and Mamoru-senpai. Please forgive me.
This morning I told Tomo and Akemi about what happened yesterday, and Sachi definitely misunderstood what they meant. They didn't want her to get out of my life, of course. They just really wanted to meet her. In fact, I'd say it worked out perfectly, since it gave us an excuse to bring Sachi to the classroom for lunch. Well, I don't think there's any ill will between us now, so I hope we can be friends from here on out.
Right. Actually, when I heard about what happened, I knew I just had to meet you right away and make it right between us, Sachan. So yeah, let's be friends. Yes, I'd like that. Sachan? Come on, if you're going to...
Oh! Come on, if you're going to be a bother to her, at least wait until she knows you better.
I'm not being a bother to her, so yeah. Do you mind if I call you Sachan? Your name is Sachi, so Sachan is a perfect nickname. Okay, sure. Yay, thanks! Oh yeah, you can call me whatever you want to, okay? Okay then, Akemi-senpai? Do you have to be so formal? How about Achan or Akamin?
Cut it out. She's already got enough to deal with right now. Tomo, help me out here. Whoopsies, that was the wrong voice.
Cut it out. She's already got enough to deal with right now. Tomo, help me out here.
What do you want me to do? Stop Alchemy from being Alchemy?
The two of us can't really get a word in edgewise while Akame's going on like this, so Tomo starts plugging the rampaging Akame's mouth with food from her lunchbox like he did last time this happened. Good pronunciation.
Akame's always too loud, and Tomo doesn't have the best manners, but I promise they're good people.
Okay. Hey, don't talk about us like we're not rotten fry.
Akame's recovering from Tomo's intervention more quickly than usual, but Tomo's ready for it, and he crams more food in her mouth as soon as she opens it. Those two have gotten pretty close. You don't get to tell people about cramming food in other people's mouths, bro.
Sorry, it's not easy keeping those two in check. If they get out of hand, just tell them to shut up.
No, I couldn't.
It's fine, they're used to it. You just have to show them who's boss.
We're not animals, you know. You shouldn't listen to boys who say such mean things, Sachan. Let's be friends with me instead. Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Even though Sachi shies away from the rampaging Akame, she's smiling a little. She does look like she's having fun. Maybe she won't have such a hard time getting used to us after all.
I know, since we're all trying to get to know Sachan better, why don't the four of us go out this weekend?
Akame, don't pressure her into doing things.
I'm not pressuring her, so what do you two think? Huh? So soon after meeting you guys? Are you sure?
I don't see why not, but where would we go?
Oh, I just remembered. There's some kind of event happening in town. It's got food stands and everything.
Really? I didn't hear anything about it like that. What kind of event are we talking about?
No idea.
Akame, what the hell?
But I saw it on a flyer on some bulletin board somewhere. They even had a picture on the food stands.
Well, if it's a festival, we probably won't even have to use much money anyway, so why don't we just go check it out? If it's just in town, we can even walk there without too much trouble.
Right. I'll find out when and where and we'll be all set.
Oh, I don't know. Sachi, are you okay with this?
Yeah, I want to go. Thank you for doing all this for me.
Don't worry about it. We're going to hang out a lot more after this, aren't we?
I guess we're finally going out as a group. This is basically a double date, isn't it? I don't think that's really what Akame intended, but she and Tomo are almost a couple, no matter how you look at it. Come to think of it, I really haven't explained my relationship with Sachi to these two yet. Not that I've been meaning to hide it, but I should probably clear that up right away.
Oh, right. So, Tomo, it looks like you were right about the reason I was fussing over Sachi so much.
I see. Did you tell her?
Yeah, it went well.
I see. Well, congratulations.
What are you two talking about?
Oh,
how do I answer that? Like I said, I'm not exactly trying to hide it, but I have a feeling Akame would go crazy over me admitting that I had a crush, and I don't know if Sachi can deal with that. I'll tell you about it later.
Thanks, Tomo.
What? I guess I don't mind if you tell me later, but now I'm really curious. Senpai?
Sachi doesn't seem to get it either. She looks up at me with a puzzled expression.
I'll tell you about it later as well.
Might as well take some time, but I'm sure Sachi will be comfortable around these two soon enough.
Oh. What did you think of Akame and Tomo? Not too bad, right?
Not bad at all. Tomo-senpai seems a little scary at first, but I realized that he wasn't scary at all once I started talking to him. Akame-senpai is really cheerful and lively. They're both really nice.
Akame wanted to walk home with Sachi with me after school, but her and Tomo's houses are in the opposite direction. As Tomo was dragging her off, she waved to Sachi and yelled, "See you tomorrow!" And we started heading toward our home ourselves, taking the same path as we always do.
You know, if she's bothering you, there's nothing wrong with telling her so.
She certainly has a lot of energy, but I really like being around her. If I could talk to people as easy as she does, I think I'd be really happy.
I'm glad you like her so much, then. I think you'll get used to their quirks. To be honest, I haven't known them that long myself.
I've never had plans for the weekend, though, aside from our... Anyway, I'm looking forward to going out with everyone.
It's going to be great. Akame came up with a great plan this time, it seems. But, yeah, let loose and have some fun.
Okay, I'll try.
Don't try to have fun, just, have fun.
That's not what I mean. It's just, I have a lot to worry about now.
What do you mean?
We're going to hang out with other people, so I don't want to look all shabby like this, with my clothes all tattered and stuff, since I'm, your girlfriend, I mean. I can't change my face.
Wow.
And I don't have any stylish clothes, but I can at least brush my hair and cover up my wounds.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't hurt.
I think I should take the bandage off my head, too. Oh, right, Senpai?
Yes?
Do you,
Do you want to touch my scar?
Huh?
I'd think she'd ever bring that up again.
I didn't either. I'm not really sure what to say. Just say no.
The one on my forehead, I mean. It doesn't hurt anymore, so it's fine if
You want to touch it, do you?
Oh, I mean, last time you let me was because you wanted to repay me. Is that what you're doing now?
I'm still grateful to you, Mamoru Senpai, and I still want to repay you, but I'm your girlfriend, so this time it's because I want to make you happy.
Oh, well, thanks. That does make me happy. I know, it's a weird thing to ask. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just forget it. No, I do want to. The words came out of my mouth before I could stop myself. They came out of your mouth before I could stop yourself too, bro. Okay. She seems set on it, but I guess I can't get out of this. Yes! You can! I know she wants to do something nice for me, but isn't this kind of strange? Not that I don't have any interest in touching her scars, but... Wait, are we doing this here? Aren't we on the way home from school? I guess we are on a street without anyone else around. But... Oh, this way, senpai. She takes me by the hand and leads me into a narrow alleyway between two buildings. Hey, okay, can you take off my bandage, please? She leans her back against the nearby wall and looks at me expectantly. Moving here hasn't really changed anything. It'll just be a lot stranger if anyone happens upon us. Yep. And anyone who walks past this alleyway will probably be able to see us. The space between Sachi and me suddenly seems almost solid, but I force myself to wade through it as she keeps her eye focused on me. We just gotta get through it, guys. I think this is like the last chapter. We just gotta get through it. Alright, just a sec. I can't help but hesitate a bit, but after a moment I steel myself. I put my own bag next to Sachi's and face her. Bro, you don't have to go through with this. Just say no. Right, I have to take her bandages first. Off her bandages first, I guess. I reach my hand towards Sachi's bandages and begin to unfasten them as Sachi tilts her head forward and closes her eye. I'm only taking off her bandages, but she suddenly looks completely vulnerable. I start to feel like I'm about to violate her somehow. What? I begin to unravel the bandages from her head, looping them around my hands so they won't fall to the floor. As I remove more and more of the wrappings, the gauze beneath it begins to show. Finally I get the last of it off. I discard what I've collected on top of her stuff. Oh, okay. That's her eyebrow. I thought that was the scar for a second. With the bandages off of her head, Sachi opens her eye and looks up at me. I look down to meet her eye as it gleams wetly from the faint light that penetrates the alleyway. Gazing up at the upturned eye before me, I suddenly feel like I'm falling into it. The feeling is so intense I can't tear myself away from that black pit. I love your eyes, they're like a black pit. Go ahead. She shuts her eye again. Closing what little distance is left between us, she put her hand to my chest and leans into me. Her touch takes me by surprise, but after a moment I put my own hand on her shoulder. I smooth over her messy hair with my free hand and brush her bangs away from her eye. I feel her shoulder tense as I run my fingers over her hair. She must be as nervous as I am. The scar that was hidden beneath the bandages is on the right side of her head, just below her hairline. The outline of the wound has started to turn dark purple like a bruise, but the wound itself is a slanted cut, has all but closed up. The cut isn't actually that big, but the dark outline makes it look much worse than it is. I steadily my hand over her temple and brush my finger over the wound, trying my best not to hurt her. As I slide my hand over her face, she lets out the breath she'd been holding, and the strength seems to drain out of her. I feel the weight of her slight body press on my chest as she leans into me, but I keep my hand steady. I trace the wound, making sure to be even more careful than I was with the one on her hand. The heart of this wound is rough, in contrast to its smoother edges, and my fingers seem to keep coming back to it. So she suddenly seems completely exhausted, and her shoulder shudders beneath my hand. The hand over her wound freezes up. Tachi opens her eyes and looks up at me again. I'm okay. And again, she loses all her strength. All but collapsing into my arms, I start stroking the wound, and after a little, she begins to shudder. She's so cute. I just touching her womb is starting to feel like I'm doing much more than that to her. Touching her huddle in my arms, she seems so drained. It's like she doesn't even have enough strength to stand up anymore. I'm only supporting her. Thanks for that. I think I'm satisfied. Just imagine what it's saying. Okay, she seems reluctant to separate from me, and she stares up at me longingly. For several moments, neither of us can tear ourselves away from each other's gaze. I force myself to break away. I gather our bags up off the floor and hand statues over to her. Here you go. Oh, thank you. We exit the narrow alleyway with Sachi's bandages and tell us are heading home again. Senpai, yeah. Did you... was it good for you? Was it good for you? Yeah, dude, thanks. You can touch it anytime you want. Oh, no. Sure. I think I might lose my mind if this sort of thing keeps happening. I can't ask her to let me do that again. The two of us walk out in silence, unsure of what to say to each other. Y'all gotta break up right now. I keep glancing at Sachi out of the corner of my eye, and eventually I catch her doing the same to me. When our gazes meet, we both remain silent, but Sachi smiles broadly. I can't help but return the smile, though I feel really embarrassed and quickly look straight ahead again. You should be ashamed of what you've done. This silly incident... Oh, okay, not that silly incident. The silly incident repeats itself a few times before we finally arrive at Sachi's house. Well, see you tomorrow!
Yeah, tomorrow...
Just as we're about to go our separate ways, the front door to Sachi's house opens. We both turn toward it reflexively. Mayumi is standing there in the doorway, not looking at all surprised, and she walks briskly over to us.
Welcome home, Sachi. Good morning, Mamoru-kun.
Hello, Mayumi-san.
I stand there dazed. She spares me a quick glance before returning to Sachi.
Sachi, I know you've just got home, but I'd like you to do some shopping for me. Yes, I'll go change my clothes. No need, I'd prefer if you do it right away. Here's a list with everything I need and some money. Just go to the convenience store. It should only take 10 minutes or so, I think. Oh, okay. See you tomorrow, senpai.
Sachi, oblivious, takes the note Mayumi handed her and starts off, almost running toward the convenience store. What the hell? What's the point of having her do that? Mayumi didn't really look like she was in a hurry to get whatever she said Sachi for. Come to think of it, why didn't she at least wait until I was gone to send Sachi out?
I'll be going now.
Sachi's gone shopping, so I don't have any reason to be here anyway. I guess I'll head home and...
Wait a moment, if you would, Mamoru-kun. I'd like to talk to you. Huh? To me?
Well, now I can't leave. What could she possibly want to talk to me about, though?
Yes, to you. What for?
Yesterday, Sachi came home, looked like she'd crying her eye out. I'd like to know why, and I think you might be able to tell me.
Crying?
Sachi didn't tell you? Well, I hear quite a bit from her, you know. There's this one thing I'd like to hear from you, though. Are you teasing her with all this, having fun at her expense?
What? No, I would never do...
Really?
Yes, I swear. I'm doing much worse things.
I see. Well, if that's the truth, I'm glad to hear it, but I wonder, do you think you can take care of her?
What? Yes, I do. What do you mean by that?
I assume that you know that Sachi and I do not have the best relationship. I think it might be irresponsible of me to ask you this, but I'd like you to be someone she can rely on.
Does that mean you're not willing to let her rely on you?
No, I was not implying that. It's just that I don't think she is willing to do so any longer.
Sachi is... You're saying that she doesn't want you to be around? That she doesn't trust you?
Yes, that's more or less what she said. It's understandable, however.
Has Sachi told you about her mother?
Wait, whoops.
Has Sachi told you about her mother, my sister?
Yes, a bit.
The two of us were inseparable as children. When she was on her deathbed, she begged me to take care of Sachi after she was gone, and so I adopted her child.
Sachi said something like that as well.
At the time, my line of thinking was that Sachi was the only reason that my sister's husband had disappeared and that she had worked herself to death.
None of that is Sachi's fault.
In the back of my mind, I knew the girl was innocent, but I had just lost my beloved sister, and I had no one to blame but her, so I convinced myself that she was responsible. I never told her that I blamed her, but I'm sure she knew it nonetheless, and she soon began to keep her head down, even in the house. After that, there was no conversation between the two of us beyond the bare minimum.
Whoa!
I behaved like a child. I tried to involve her in my life as little as possible, and she did the same to me. She had just lost her mother, but I was too caught up in my own grief, too selfish to spare even one kind word for her. Thinking back, it's a truly shameful way to have been behaved. But when she got to high school, she started coming home with numerous cuts and bruises. It was then I realized I had neglected my beloved sister's final wish. I knew then that I had let her down.
But if you realized that, why didn't you try to help her?
I did try. I wanted to know what was happening to her, of course, but she only told me she had fallen, that nothing had happened to her, and now it's too late for me to help her.
But she changed, you know.
After she met you.
Me?
Yes, at first I was cautious of you, thinking that you might be the one responsible for her injuries. I'm sorry that I was not more amiable the last time we met.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
I guess that's why she was so overbearing back then.
I'm getting my voices all mixed up. She does seem less uptight compared to last time. Her stare was so icy then, totally different from how she is now. Although I suppose she was ready to accuse me of hurting Sachi from the moment she met me.
Ever since the day I first saw you in front of our house, that girl has been smiling more than ever before. She goes back to staring at the ground as soon as she notices me, of course. But still, when I gave her money on the day you two went out, she was the happiest I'd ever seen her. She even thanked me several times. I had never seen her like that before, and it actually startled me, but her face at that time, delighted as she was nothing less than adorable. That was the first time she had ever asked something of me as well. It made me quite happy, and all of that is thanks to you.
So you don't hate Sachi then, I take it?
I do not. I thought about it for a long time, however, and I'm paying for that now.
If you're admitting all this to me now, why not tell it to Sachi too?
I'm not sure she'd be willing to listen even if I tried. I'm the source of many bitter memories for her, you know.
I think she'd listen. She is grateful for you to take... She's grateful to you for taking care of her. She just doesn't want to cause you any trouble. She told me that herself.
I don't know how I could possibly connect with her after everything I've done.
Mayumi looks away from me, suddenly looking very troubled. She seems fixed on something, and I follow her line of sight to the street corner to see Sachi walking up toward us, her head down once again. Looks like it's time to wrap this up.
Mamoru-kun, please keep everything I've told you secret from Sachi.
Sachi feels guilty about being a burden on Mayumi, and Mayumi feels guilty about having treated Sachi. But both of these issues have all but resolved themselves, haven't they? Somehow, even though Sachi has changed, Mayumi's attitude toward her has not. Or at least, Mayumi hasn't let Sachi catch on that it has, and I think Mayumi wants to keep it that way for some reason. Now that I think about it, she must have sent Sachi shopping so she could talk to me alone.
Duh!
She made a list of all the things she didn't really need just so she could send Sachi away to buy them. Was she waiting by the door for us to get here? If that's the case, she must have been planning to talk to me from the start.
Mayumi-san, I think Sachi will tell you herself, but I was planning on taking her out this weekend with some of my friends.
Oh my, are you? I shouldn't have anything to worry about if they're your friends, right? Of course I'll let her go.
Thank you. When I talked with her, she said she wished she had some nicer clothing. She'd never ask you, of course, but...
I see. Mayumi-san, I got what you wanted, but... Huh? Mamoru, you're still here?
Sachi hands the bag full of things she brought to Mayumi.
I was just having a little chat with your friend, that's all. Sachi, I've got some more shopping to do. Did I get everything you needed? Oh yes, thank you.
There seems to be several items in the plastic bag. It looks like Mayumi had her buy a bag of candy, a few pens, that sort of thing. Kind of a strange shopping list. She could have at least tried to make it a little more sensible.
I need you to come along, so go change out of your uniform. Huh? Okay, where are we going? To buy you some clothes. I've got some other things to take care of as well. Now, if you'll excuse us, Mamoru-kun.
Right.
Clothes for me? Oh, see you tomorrow, Mamoru.
Yeah, see you.
The two of them hurry back into their house, leaving me alone. Time to go home. Maybe she's not quite as clever as I thought. Whatever. We cleared up the misunderstanding between us, and she doesn't seem like a bad person, so it'll be fine, probably. I think it's going to end it today. This is the most tired I've ever been. So we're going to just pick it up next time. I'm sorry for everything I had to read out loud, and I hope you have a great day.